Yo, welcome to a special edition of the Geekers podcast. And I'm your host, Steve O. Steve. And I'm here with my partner, Tommy T. And G's absent today, but he'll be back. He's the silent G for the day, like in lasagna. But yeah, I put that there. I did. But we got a special Mother's Day edition today. And not only that, we got some special guests in the building from a new podcast that's coming out, which is called Mother's Milk. So without further ado, y'all get ready for that. Of course, we're bringing y'all what's in your speakers, and we're going to also be bringing y'all the daily news as well. So without further ado, let's get to it. So if y'all don't know who these two lovely ladies are on the podcast, if you're looking on YouTube, and by the way, if you're on YouTube, there's this little bell thing there. It's somewhere over here somewhere. Push it. Yeah, it's very easy to do. Make sure you subscribe. And then if you find us on any of your favorite podcast platforms, please make sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss anything we got going. Also, check out the review. Tommy T did a review on MK. I was about to say MK2, but it's just regular Mortal Kombat. Yeah, and y'all make sure y'all go check that out on the 3M page on YouTube. Yes, sir. And without further ado, we got two guests. None other than Artika.
A-Town.
Yeah, A-Town. Is it what?
A-Town. Artika Town. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just so excited. I've been waiting on this day for a very long time.
Awkward.
Well, she's here now.
She's here now.
And on Speaker Geekers, not August Love Story.
I know it.
Let's discuss.
I know. Yeah.
And then we got the other host of Mother's Milk. And let's discuss when we do record them. Crystal's in the building.
Hey everyone, good to see you.
So, man, we got a action-packed episode. Gonna be a little shorter than normal, so I know some of y'all like that. But other than that, we're gonna get it rolling. So, since G ain't here today, he ain't in the building. He's silent like the G in lasagna today. I guess we just gonna kick off what's in your speakers, man.
Let's do it.
So, without further ado, we're gonna let our ladies go first because we are gentlemen. You understand? Gentlemen. Some of y'all need some practice. Chivalry is not dead, folks. Open the door for a lady. Something. Good God. We're gonna let the ladies go first. So, who? Let me see. Should I go alphabetical order? That means Artika will go first.
That's fine. I'm used to being at the top. If you went in alphabetical by first or last name, I would be ahead of Crystal. I guess for this week, I have only really been listening to music through Tommy. So he's been playing, at least around me, a lot of old school. So we have been listening to Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores, I want to say the Stylistics was thrown in there a little bit. He's just been old school to his little soul. Mm-hmm. So me and the kid have been bopping to some old school with him.
Okay.
And Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Sesame Street got some bangers, man. Kids.
They got some bangers, some classic stuff, man, that you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, some of their new stuff is hidden too.
Yeah.
But a lot of their newer guests they be having on there. But all right, shoot, there we go. That ain't bad. I guess when your spouse on there, it's kind of hard to have your own list. I kind of like share a list.
Yeah.
But we got Crystal now. She gonna have her own list because it's just her. So, what's been in your speakers?
Yeah, so what's been on my speakers lately? I'm the same as Tommy and Artika. I'm reeling off of the last verses with Ronald Isley and the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire. So that has been in my speaker here lately. Just jamming to those old school tunes. And then, of course, staple is Beyonce. I'm still jamming to Beyonce Homecoming. That is like constant every week. I'm always jamming to that. No surprises here.
Queen Bee.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong. What's your favorite Isley Brothers song?
Oh gosh, I'm more on the Earth, Wind, and Fire side, I must say. But let me just say this: for Earth, Wind, and Fire, my favorite song is Serpentine Fire. So love that one.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Okay. Cool. All right, Tommy.
Is it my turn yet?
Yeah, just go for it.
I don't have a scroll like you do, but I got a few hits in there. Okay. Like my wife said, we've been listening to old school stuff, man. We listened to EU doing the butt to see, like, because my daughter, she dances to this stuff, man. It'd be hilarious. She loves music, so she starts dancing. It doesn't matter what she hears, she just starts dancing. So we was listening to that. Gucci came out with a song called Shit Crazy featuring Big 30. Check that out. 21 Savage came out with a song called Spiral. That was okay. Let's see. Young Dolph had a song, Tatted. DJ Khaled had an album come out, Khaled. That was cool. Let's see. Went down a rabbit hole of 2000 hip hop. So we listening to like Soulja Boy, what's it, Superman?
Crank That.
Yeah.
Crank That. That's it. Laffy Taffy.
That's a good one. Right.
I was just trying to see if she would dance to it. Well, she had her little bop to it, man.
Right.
What else was it? Childish Gambino, Awaken My Love. Check that album out again. Shelly, FKA Drum. Let's see, The Mac by Akeem Ali. I know that's one of on the 80 Vibe show, like he killed it. Like I've been on dude for like a year now. I know Greg like him a lot too. Checked out that Moneybagg Yo album again. Album by Moray, Street Sermons, fire. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. Kid and Play, actually. Too Hype. Listen to their album. Solange, A Seat at the Table, check that one out again. And then I started listening to Mother's Day songs like Tupac, Dear Mama, Kanye West, Hey Mama. Drake had a song, what's the name of it? Golly, what's the name of Drake's song? I can't remember Look What You Done. Listen to that. So that's where my music has led me this week, man.
Is Look What You Done a Mother's Day song?
I mean, he talks about his mom.
He talks about his mom, yeah. That's probably one of my favorite songs from Drake by far, actually.
What?
Very personal. Good song. Yeah. That I really enjoy from him. So
I always feel awkward when Drake comes up because I always call it light skin love songs.
It is. It definitely is.
People talk about Drake. I'm like, I'm not really into Drake like that.
Yeah. It's only not either. No. So I'm with you with that.
It's the Smith connection.
That's what it is.
There you go. See, there it is. So that's your list. That was pretty long.
That wasn't that long, man.
I was like, dang, he's still scrolling.
Stop. Y'all need to stop it.
That's a diverse list. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome.
So I guess I'll bring us up on the rear here. Of course, still listening to that Moneybagg, Against This Pain album. And man, every time I listen to it, it's another song that I really like a lot. So I'm still bopping to that a lot. Man, Larry June, Numbers. So, man, I listen to more and more Larry June, and the more I listen, the more I just really, really enjoy Larry June. But I haven't heard this album, and I saw it, and I was like, man, I want to listen to some Larry June. So I jumped on this Larry June album called Numbers. Probably one of the dopest album covers I've seen in a while with this Mustang on these 5 stars on here. But yeah, definitely check out that Larry June. Larry June is going in. Unshakable may be my song that I really like the most on there. But man, there's so much on here. Like that Trap Larry is hitting. Like just period. So go definitely check out Larry June and everything else he done had coming since then. From there, I listen to some Freddie Gibbs. And I know I'm finna butcher this last name. Not last name, but this other name on here. But it's Freddie Gibbs and Mad Lib. Is it Mad Lib?
Yeah.
That might be it. MADLIB.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
If you're listening, I butcher your name. My bad, bro. But yeah. Panata. But it's the deluxe edition. So it's like really, really long. But it's Freddie Gibbs giving you Freddie Gibbs. So man, I really enjoyed this one. Go check it out. If you got some time, I haven't finished it. It has about it has a lot of songs on here. Yeah, it's a lot.
What's the name of it?
83.
83.
Panata. It's the deluxe edition. I haven't finished it, of course, but it's like a lot on here. Like a lot. Yeah. But hey. But some of it is like instrumentals and then remixes. And yeah, that's what it is. So it's like, you know,
instrumentals and remixes.
Yeah. Because if you get to a certain point, you start seeing that it's like doubling the songs, and you'll figure out that one's the actual song and one's like the instrumental. So it's not as long, but it's long enough. But yeah, but definitely go check it out. If you're a fan of Freddie Gibbs, you'll enjoy this. Man, after that, man, it was Watch the Throne. I don't know why. I just felt like listening to Watch the Throne. I think it was something that G said, something about horns. And there's a song on here with Beyonce on it. Let me see. Lift Off. Yep. And like I always love the beat on that one. And man, it's Beyonce when she sings on a record. And you put her with Jay, it's like, I mean, I'm just saying.
Magic. That's all I can
say. You don't get no F on nothing when it comes to them two. So it was amazing. So man, I definitely, that's one of my favorite albums. I got to see them live one time too. It was great. Well, I saw Beyonce and J Lab, but then I also went to the Watch the Throne tour as well. So definitely pretty an experience that I'll forever remember. Yo, that Corday song, What's Up, with featuring Young Thug. Yeah. Yo, I'm rocking with it. I like it. I
still haven't listened to that.
Yeah, I like that record.
Out, man.
No,
yeah, man, check it out.
The Young Thug music since I met him.
Yeah.
You met Young Thug?
Okay, so in a former life, I used to sell jewelry to celebrities. So Young Thug was frequenting the establishment that I worked at. I met a lot of people. The Migos, Shannon Brown, Young Thug, Dominique Wilkins, Nelly.
Where did you work at?
It's a jewelry store in Buckhead. No,
is it the Icebox one?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, that's one. That was it. Icebox.
Yeah.
That's what you said?
Yeah, I used to work there.
Wow. Well, every day. You were selling jewelry?
Yeah.
Yo, I need a charm for this new necklace.
I don't sell jewelry.
I was like, she'll sell it the most.
I sold jewelry though for probably from like 2010 until 2015. So I know a lot about jewelry.
Why did you leave?
Well, at one establishment, I got robbed at gunpoint.
Oh, that was the one with the whole. Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't an Icebox though. But I got robbed at gunpoint at one establishment, and Icebox just wasn't a healthy working relationship for me.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we got to talk more about jewelry because I need to know. When I go in these stores,
I'm that friend.
A good deal. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Tell me, be like, nah, they trying to overcharge you by 100%. I'll be like, oh,
damn, I want that 100%.
These folks ruthless out here when it comes to jewelry.
Oh, they are. Jewelry is a game, and you just have to know what you're getting. So,
oh, see, yeah, we're gonna have to talk. Yeah, man. From there, NLE Chopper. Hey, I've been on this whole lemon pepper freestyle stuff. NLE Chopper dropped one. I didn't know he was locked up and he just got out. That was kind of interesting.
I didn't know that either.
I don't know who that is.
And then Meek dropped one as well.
Yeah.
Well, no, NLE Chopper did beatbox. Sorry, that beatbox. You know, man, knock your head out. You know, the whole dance thing. And then Meek did the lemon pepper freestyle. And then I've been just kind of going down that whole lemon pepper freestyle Rabbit Hole because I like the beat a lot. And yeah, that was a lot of lemon pepper going on. Which I want some lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, we had some.
So yeah. Yeah, so it was a lot of new records that I've been like spinning a lot of those little singles there. From there, Moray. Is it Moray or Murray? I still
Moray, I think
it's Moray. Yeah, Street Sermons. Man, easy. Fire all the way through. Trenches. My son likes the song Trenches like a lot. But I like everything on here. Nothing Now is probably the record that I like played over and over again. And I also got to check out his Up Next on Apple Music. So if you're an Apple Music subscriber, check out the Up Next with Moray. I think it was pretty cool and enlightening to get to kind of know him and where he's come from and all of that good stuff. So check that out, Street Sermon. Pretty enjoyable. And then DJ Khaled. I'll be honest, I didn't like this too much. Only like a few songs off of there. Like everything that features the baby. Not the baby, but Lil Baby. And then of course, Sorry Not Sorry. Yo, can we just say that Hove and Nas, but Hove is just, he still got it, man.
Bro,
he just still got it.
Like he never lost it.
No, not at all. He just, it's Hove. Not only that, I mean, Nas killing it as well. And I looked at the video and it looked real cool just to see them two sitting there smiling. It was just an awesome song. I hate all the Justin Bieber songs and the Justin Timberlake, but I don't rock with Justin Timberlake anyway. So I don't like any of that. I Did It. I Did It is my record. I'm gonna give props what props is due. Meg took off. My homies were saying that was some mid from Meg though. I was like, I was surprised. But I'm actually gonna give Meg some props this week. Good job.
Cardi B jump was nice too, bro.
You know what? You can tell it was rushed.
Yeah.
Cause it just, I don't know. It just didn't grab me. Every chance I get, let's just say, man, Lil Baby is the best rapper out right now. I'm just going. Can we agree on that? He just is. Dude is smashing everything. He's just smashing everything. It's just either. And then from there, I too got on some old school music. For some reason yesterday I want to hear some Earth, Wind and Fire. So we was listening to September, and it's crazy. I didn't know the name of it was September until yesterday until I really looked at it. I thought it was Do You Remember? But it's titled September. Yeah.
21st night in September.
I wanted that to be our wedding date so that could be the song, but it didn't fall on the right day of the week.
Nope. It was like Monday or Tuesday or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would have been dope because then you forever remember it. Yeah. Every time that song come on, you felt like they were singing dance. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we thoroughly enjoyed all that. So
would have danced to it though.
I danced with you to a dance. To whatever. What song did we dance to? Best of Me.
Yeah,
we danced.
So. Giving you the best of me. Anyway, Steve, what else you got, man?
Man, that's it. That's my week. That's my week in speakers. Yeah, I tried to throw that in there. I don't know
see
why.
What you did there.
Yeah, you see what I did? See?
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that's it for what's in your speakers. I hope we made G proud.
Hope so, when he comes
back.
Hope so, man.
But from here, let's get with Tommy T and the T.
All right, man.
Tommy T and the T.
I don't got a lot of news, but I do have some. Actually, the one thing that I'm really, really happy to bring up and talk about is Najee Harris. Last year he was the running back for Alabama. This year he got drafted as the 24th pick in the NFL draft for the Steelers. All right. One reason I want to bring him up is because Najee Harris growing up, used to live in like a homeless shelter for a few years. And before he got drafted, he went back to that homeless shelter and had hosted a draft party, provided food for everybody, and made donations to that homeless shelter. And it kind of dives back onto what we were talking about last week, Steve, in the sense of like, this was when we was off the we didn't record it or whatnot, but in the sense of trying to figure out how to give back to your community that you grew up in, and seeing that, hey, he went back to this homeless shelter after he knows, like, basically he's set. As long as he don't get hurt, he's pretty good. And was able to give back in that way. So it's like, it's almost like a chance to clap for him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't watch the draft, but I just really thought that was a very good thing for him to do and everything. So I want to say, from Speaker Geekers and the 3M family, congratulations to Najee Harris, and hope good things come with you and the Steelers. The next thing I want to bring up is, I had it on my phone up here. The Oscars. I think his name is Anthony Hopkins. Yeah. Won Best Actor. He was up against the only person I know that was in that category was Chadwick Boseman, and I'd never seen the movie that he actually won it for. I think it's called The Father. He won it for, and yeah, man, he, in his acceptance speech, he was thoroughly surprised, sent in the video, and was like, yeah, this is a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, because he thought that Chadwick was winning it or had won it. And so he was just out and about playing golf wherever he was, man, just chilling. He was like completely surprised that he won that. So I just found it funny, man, because I know how you are, Steve, with the award shows and stuff, and you like, to hell with all the award shows, especially the Grammys.
Well, not all of them.
But the Grammys. But this is a part of that. I feel like if you look at the award shows to people that we can award, this is the Grammys for actors. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just think it's commendable, man, that he did that. You know, seeing how much we lost in Chadwick Boseman, because he's one of the, like I was thinking about it earlier. Him and Michael B. Jordan is probably two of the top actors now. And the fact that they're black men, man, is amazing. Mm-hmm. But some people would disagree with me, but I just watched without remorse. Michael B. Jordan got it, man. that brother can act.
Yeah, he's been doing this thing for a long time. Go find him in like the old stuff. He was in The Wire when he was young.
He was in Hardball, man.
Yeah.
I had to go back and was like, that is him. I think that was really cool. And it's surprising.
And you know what? I like that, because they didn't like just give it to,
right.
Even though he expected him to win, they ain't just like,
right.
It'd
have been questionable if he won that, though.
It'd have been questionable, but not, because it's kind of like, you'd be like, oh, well, I get it. But the fact that, they gave it to someone and then, he honored him was pretty cool. So yeah. I'm good on that.
One more thing, man, and then we can get into it. This is for people that just like Disney. Disneyland like actually opened this past week in California. I don't know which one is which. I don't know if Florida is Disneyland or Disney World, but one of them, the one that's in California, opened up this past weekend. It's been closed for a year now.
The one in Florida has always been open. So Disney World has been open. They just have been limiting the amount of people that can come in.
Yeah. So now Disneyland is wide open. now. So
that's big for California.
That
in
is
general.
huge for California.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
They saying they got a lot going on.
it seems like we are all getting back to normal, man, or trying to, at least as far as like, because Georgia basically said, "All right, COVID's over."
I don't think Georgia
Didn't
ever
open.
thought COVID like started. I think they were like, "Hey, we're just gonna pause life for like a month and then y'all go back to normal."
Georgia has been in denial.
Yes.
Basically.
This whole time.
Yeah.
Georgia and Florida too.
One and the same to me.
Florida is more in denial than Georgia is.
Mhm.
Georgia was at least like some of the mayors were like, "Oh yeah, we'll wear masks." Florida was like, "Nah, we got a beach."
Florida was
Nah.
like, Florida got all the people that's talking about it's against my right to wear a mask. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then we ain't gonna mention Texas.
No, we ain't gonna talk about Texas.
Hey, we're gonna open 100%. Okay.
No, we're gonna shut it down, man, for a week.
While the
And then the
hospitals are
snowstorm
at 100% capacity, we are also going to be at 100% capacity wherever you want to go.
Man, y'all know that's crazy though. Like we have never heard of a hospital being at 100% capacity.
Right.
Like you don't have room at the end for an emergency. Like that's crazy. But we lived through it, man.
Yep.
Fucking millennials.
Yeah.
I think we're still living through it.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of the millennial once in a lifetime things. We've had like five of them.
We had
too
hard
many of
life,
them.
man.
The rough life.
I'm stressed.
Man.
We've seen it all.
Oh man. Well, we'll make it better for the next generation.
Good, let's hope so.
Yeah. We'll be
They just
smarter
better
than
put all this in
those before us.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna be way smarter than
Man, we
them.
done seen this before, man. But you know, like I was talking to a friend yesterday, man. It was crazy because we went over, and the first thing we was like, "You got your shots?" Like we're like animals, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he got a shot, you know what I'm saying? So he's good, he got his shots, and stuff, man. It's crazy, like where we are as human beings, man, and the questions that we have to ask now, you know, and stuff. So,
I mean, but is it really any different? Like people make a big whoop about vaccines, but we've been vaccinated. In order for you to go to elementary school, you need to be
I
vaccinated.
think only anti-vaxxers made a big deal about vaccines because the rest of us are just like, okay, the CDC says we need to get these. I'm going to get them.
yeah.
And like when we went through the list of vaccines for our daughter, like with her pediatrician, like it wasn't just a blind, we're just going to get everything, which we ended up getting, I think, every recommended vaccine except for one, which was flu. Like a flu shot. And I was just like, I don't see the point because she's at home, not going anywhere. We're in the midst of a pandemic. Where is she going to get the flu from? So, but with that, we kind of like went and looked at all of them and talked through what each one of them did. And I'm like, these are all like, there's a point.
Yeah.
Like I don't get the point of the anti-vaxxers, but you know,
What I
to each their own.
What I don't get the point of is when people be like, well, what's in it? Nigga, I don't know what's in Tylenol, but I take it.
But even that, like, what's in the
I'm not a
vaccine?
scientist.
What's in COVID?
Right.
Like, what is
Right.
COVID?
I have no clue what this stuff is, man.
Hey, I just, my homeboy Fabe, he made a good point. He was like, people, they be like so up in arms about what's in the vaccine, but they go to McDonald's and eat
Right. That
Right.
mystery meat and shit.
every
man.
day. Like we put worse stuff in our bodies. Like
Right.
everybody get over it.
Right.
Do what you got to do. Because I mean, I got my first shot. I go back May 18th for my second one. I got Pfizer. I'm part of Pfizer gang right now, y'all.
Hey, me too.
but
me
I think
too.
we all are.
So
Yeah.
we're all fully vaccinated over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Steve,
I got one more.
I'm on the way.
I'm good to go. But I've had COVID, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they say it's rare for someone to get it twice. But nevertheless, I had like a whole bunch of people in front of me who went and got it first. And my mom got Moderna. One of my homeboys got the Johnson & Johnson, and then everyone else got like Pfizer. And like everyone's fine. So
yeah.
Well, I've heard if you've had COVID before, it's better to get the Pfizer vaccine. I don't know why, but they said it's better for people who've had COVID before.
You need a medical professional on to explain this to us.
Yeah, I didn't even know that, so I'm glad I went and got Pfizer then. Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
My mom says, "Hey, my mom says she went and got Moderna just because the Pfizer line was too long." She was like, "Go ahead and get this."
Hey, bro, that's something I would do, bro.
I probably would do it too.
I only had the one rule, which was I wasn't going to get the Johnson & Johnson shot, and the place that we chose only had Pfizer, so we didn't have another option. It was just like no Johnson & Johnson. It was like Moderna or Pfizer, and they were like, "We got Pfizer." We were like, "We're in there. Tell us what time to be there."
My mom got Johnson & Johnson, so she said she's been fine, man. No, just the remnants of getting a shot,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that needle felt like it was still in my arm, but I guess it wasn't. But yeah, and my mom also knew the nurse, so that was getting it, so she felt more comfortable.
Yeah,
and because it was someone she knew, so she can, ask questions and all that. But
for sure,
shoot, man. That's what I'm talking about. Mothers. You see that? We got 2 mothers on the show that told us good stuff about getting your vaccinations. And then as well as moms who are out there getting vaccinations. That's what's up. Lead the charge. And
moms
that's a good way to
getting and giving vaccinations.
Yeah. Give it up for the moms. It's a good way to roll off into this.
That's the most beautiful way to roll off in it, man. Mother's Day, and we have Mother's Milk on the podcast with us today. Like, dude, like before we get started, like we have like my wife, like since we've been doing this for like a year and a half now, almost a year and a half, maybe. Have we? Yeah,
November was a year for you guys.
Yeah,
so about a year and a half.
About a year and a half, this podcast and everything. And I've always wanted to get Artika on the show because that's my wife. And I like working with her. And then on top of everything, this is like the cherry on top. We got my cousin on here as well, man. And the cool thing about these two, man, is what a lot of people don't see is like our social media is pretty much ran by them two. The ideas for August Love Story, like Crystal is always called to say, hey, we're at a block. And she'll come with a list of 20 topics for us to talk about, to choose from. It's like, thanks. So it's like behind the scenes, these two work diligently with us to help get things done within the 3-amp family. And of course they are on Let's Discuss with us whenever, like Steve said at the beginning, whenever we do record it as well. But
it'll come back.
We're going to record something
eventually.
And the beauty of everything, we do recognize that they are the mothers in our lives. They are the mothers of our 3-amp family and everything. And we wanted to celebrate them as well as celebrate their new podcast, Mother's Milk. Won't you guys explain to us all about Mother's Milk and how we got to this point?
Well, Mother's Milk was actually pitched to the two of us by a person that's on this podcast who shall remain nameless. And essentially, it's just millennial moms talking about things that nobody told us about being a mom. Like, I think we started off talking about, it actually started because we, Crystal and I, though we're first cousins, we've actually also have shared the journey of breastfeeding at the same time. We both felt like it was too long, but don't tell our kids that. But we started off with Mother's Milk as a celebration of our journey of breastfeeding and all of the things that you don't get to find out about motherhood until you're like knee deep in it. Because as we've learned, our mother's journeys to motherhood was totally different from ours. I know, for an example, Crystal and I both, our grandmothers played a very instrumental part in our upbringing, and our children don't have that. We are both currently 6 hours away from our kids' maternal grandmothers. I know that her son's other grandmother lives close by, and Tommy's mom lives a couple of hours away. So they're a little bit closer in proximity. But like, we grew up at our grandmother's houses. that was our primary caregiver. And now we're trying to navigate what life is like in that sense, because we don't have the opportunity to just be like, hey, mom, can you watch your grandkid? And then add on the layer of a pandemic and
oh gosh. Yeah, it's a lot. And I think, there's so many mothers that can relate to our story. So many of us are going through motherhood without our mothers like in close proximity. So we've got to lean on each other. It definitely takes a village. I know that's cliche, but it really does take a village. You need to have kind of your network. And we hope that our podcast will hopefully help mothers and fathers, navigate this parenthood thing, because it can be daunting, especially for new parents. So hopefully we'll be able to help people along the way.
That's cool. Mother's Milk, man. When
Mother's Milk.
What's the release date and everything? What's the release date again?
It is going to be, I have to look at the exact date, but we are going to be releasing on May. I'm sorry, I don't have a calendar directly in front of me. I'm trying to pull it up. We are going to be releasing on May 10th. So that is Monday. So this comes out on Tuesday. So it'll be the following Monday after Mother's Day.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Yeah, man, this is dope. Like I said before, man. With Mother's Day coming up, and I'm still trying to figure out like what to get all my mothers in my life.
Sleep.
Sleep in a hotel by themselves.
How has I guess I want to start with Mother's Day. Like how has the meaning of Mother's Day changed for you guys and your thoughts on it now?
I guess I won't say that I think that it has changed. I think that I'm just now included. I've always thought that moms were special. Moms were amazing. And then to be on the side of actually like becoming a mother, like you realize all of the sacrifices and things that moms have to go through, as far as like we look at it as pregnancy as sacrificing your body, because you are like, I affectionately used to call Lily my little parasite because, she made me sick all the time while I was pregnant with her. But like even beyond the actual pregnancy aspect of it, going into all of the things that you do, especially with breastfeeding, how you sacrifice your diet, you sacrifice sleep as the big thing for me. You sacrifice all these things for your child. And it's just like, it's a way to... Mother's Day to me is just a way to say, hey, I appreciate you for what you have done as far as bringing me into this world and being a guiding light for me as a child. And it's funny now that I am a mother, I call my mom and apologize a lot for things that I've done in my life because I see like what it's like having a child. And I'm like, girl, how did you do this? Why did you do this? You did this twice. Why?
She said, why?
But yeah, that's kind of Mother's Day in a nutshell for me. It's just being able to honor and, give thanks and gratitude for being the vessel that brought me here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, it's the same thing. I had to do the same with apologizing to my mom, just like Artika did, because I had no idea. I'm an only child, so I would always question my mom growing up, like, why don't I have a brother or sister? Now I see why. This is hard, So I was like, now I understand, Mom. I really do. But I think Mother's Day is an opportunity for us to show gratitude to the mothers out there, whether you give birth naturally or you are a mother figure. I think it's still important to celebrate those women who have, been a mother figure as well. So I think it's, a time for us to celebrate and also thank those women in our lives. It's very important. Especially, I can now relate being a mother myself, all the sacrifices that come with being a parent. So definitely need to do that. Dope
stuff. So I was sitting up here trying to figure out what Greg was talking about last week when we was talking, like planning for this interview with you guys and trying to relate it to music and everything like that. The only thing I can think of is like what he came up with was like the story between artists and the songs they make for their moms. One of the biggest songs that I think of, and it's crazy. It makes me think of my Uncle Tyrone because this dude, I think he thought he was Tupac, but Dear Mama is the biggest song that I think of when I think about songs devoted or dedicated to moms. And I just recently looked up a playlist, trying to prepare for this episode, looked up a playlist of different songs about moms. And that's how I ended up listening to Drake's song. What else? Boys to Men song, the song they did. Hey, what is it?
A Song for Mama.
A Song for Mama and stuff like that. But what are some of the songs that you guys think about and relate to more when it comes to moms and that was written for moms, and why?
Crystal, I'll let you go first. I have one, but I'll let you go first.
We might even have the same one. You never know. So no surprise here. This one is a song by Beyonce. It's actually to her daughter. So it's kind of the reverse. Yeah. So this song is called Blue. And like the first few lines of the song are, sometimes these walls seem to cave in on me, but when I look in your eyes, I feel alive. Some days we say words that don't mean a thing, but when you're holding me tight, I feel alive. Just that, to me, I related back to those first few weeks of postpartum, only because, you're kind of, it's you and the baby. And you're sleep deprived, but you feel alive despite, what you're having to go through of trying to learn how to take care of a baby. And it's kind of, like that she's saying, I'm balancing being a mom, but then when I look at my child, they give me life again. I may be tired from being up all night, but I look at this child in their eyes and they give me, a new life. So it's, to me, those lyrics kind of resonate for me as a new mother and thinking back to that time when you're kind of just worn out and trying to figure out and navigate motherhood and just the blessing that it is. So that's one of the songs that I kind of related to more.
Oh, okay.
So for me, I actually had this song as my mom's ringtone back in college, which was Hey Mama by Kanye. Specifically the lyric of it that I put in the ringtone was, I promise you I'm going back to school. Because I would come home every summer and in my mind I would quit college. And I was like, this is the agreement that we made, was that I would finish. So I promise I'm going back. But it became like her ringtone, probably the same year that the album actually came out. And it was her ringtone up until pretty much I got a new phone. And so that was just, Kanye's ode to his mom. Of course, like you mentioned, the Boyz II Men song, A Song for Mama. I always think about that song when I think about the movie Soul Food, because Big Mama was just everything for them. But yeah, Kanye's probably the first one that comes to mind, and then Boyz II Men being a close second.
What about you, Steve?
What? My favorite mama song?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, it's got to be Pac. I mean, I think it's just, it's just got to be Pac. That's just one of those songs. It's just, I don't know. It was so vivid. Like everything he said, like it was just vivid, like just there. So it's got to be that one. And then, close second will be the Boyz II Men. But that one just so dang on sad.
Right.
So I don't listen to that one as much. But I enjoy it a lot. What song, this is gonna be a little different, because what song do you think really describes two things. What song describes the roller coaster of motherhood, and that you think would describe it perfectly? And then what song describes your kids? Because for me, I think for Zoe, it would be like roller coaster,
I was actually gonna throw that one out.
Like 1 minute she up, next minute she is. You're like, oh goodness gracious, it's good. Yeah. But what would y'all say?
My Child Would Be Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. Like she is like the most angelic child when she's around other people. She's so sweet. She's so loving. Like she saw her cousin Crystal's son recently for the first time in like a year. And like she gives him a hug and she gives him a kiss on the cheek. And then on our way home, she's like flipping out on us. So it's like, who was this little, like, where was the little angel that was with us like 30 minutes ago? Like, she's definitely like a child who flips and flops. Like, Tommy and I call her a Sour Patch Kid because she's definitely like, she's sweet and then she's sour.
Yeah. She's definitely a Sour Patch Kid. Let's see the little commercial that, like, bro, she threw water on me yesterday and then gave me a hug. Like, for real.
Why did she throw water on you?
Like, she was trying to get the glass and then give it to me, and she did. This is how she gave it. Like, this is the top of the glass, the open. This is how she gave it to me.
Oh,
and then gave me a hug.
Yeah, you want the glass?
And like she'll like hit you with her cup if you don't give her water fast enough, because she's gotten to the point now where we make her ask for things. Yeah. So like she'll like water and she'll like pass you her cup, and if you say give me a minute, she's like water. And she like attacks you with her cup.
There you go.
And then she'll give you a kiss after you give her the water, and it's like almost like, I'm sorry for being crazy. I just wanted water.
Just wanted some water. That's it.
Hey, that's the childhood not understanding part that they go through. Yeah. Crystal, what you got?
Wait.
All right. I'm trying to figure out. I'm over here looking at my Spotify playlist of songs. So I mean, here's the thing with Austin. He's very similar to Lily, and is a Sour Patch Kid. 1 minute up, next minute down. I think that's just typical of a toddler. But for me, here I go with another Beyonce reference. Mood Forever is his song that just, I mean, he's just a mood every time, you know, it's like good or bad, you know. I look at him, it's like, man, he's having the best time, and I'll snap pictures of him. I look back, man, this is a whole mood right here. So, you know, that's one of the songs that kind of resonate. And what was the other question?
Oh, what was the song that you described that you think perfectly describes at least your vision of what motherhood has been up until this point?
Ooh, that is a hard one. I'm gonna have to come back on that one, y'all. It's so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out myself. Like,
I don't know.
That's a solid question, Steve.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, it's so many out there, but for me, I think the big record where he talks about, you know, shoot, man, I just drew a blank. Was it Juicy? Which one? Sega Genesis? When I was dead, bro. Yeah. You know,
that's Juicy.
That I kind of see that one because it kind of goes through those.
Magazine, Salt and Pepper. Man, that's my jam, bro. That's probably the only song I know the words to.
Probably.
It's such an iconic song.
It is.
But, you know, just kind of that, and then, shoot, man, sky's the limit. I guess you can do like a hodgepodge of songs to kind of put all that together, because you got to go through all of those emotions to get to where you're at now. You look back at it and be like, dang, it really wasn't that bad. Or you look back at it and be like, dang, it was that bad, but we made it to here.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we go through whatever it is while we're young and we don't realize, like, that was pretty bad, but we was having so much fun getting through it. So yeah. Well, I'll let y'all think about that song, because that's a tough one.
Like, get back to me on that one.
Yo, so for everyone that's listening, if y'all drop y'all's down in the comments, whether you're a mother or a father or your aunt, drop what you think describes that whole mood or vibe or situation of being a mother? What song fits you? That's something for yeah. That's our call to action that week. Let me see them songs. See what you got. I'm sure people got a lot of different ones. What you got, Tom?
No, I was gonna ask a little bit more about the podcast, man. I know we releasing here in a few weeks or next week, actually on Monday. What are some of the things that you guys actually gonna be talking about on there, or what some of the things that people can actually look forward to discussing and sparking the conversations with you guys?
So definitely we talked about we'll flip it from mom to dad. We did definitely talk about the dad's role in breastfeeding. We talked about maintaining friendships as a new mom, because that's something that is very difficult for new moms. And we also kind of got into just talking about breastfeeding in general, like common misconceptions about it, because that's actually what started the whole topic of the podcast. Is a lot of the things that we learned in the process of breastfeeding our child that we weren't able to reach out to another person about. Like, I, of course, had Crystal, who had been on that journey 16 months before I was, but like, our mothers didn't breastfeed us. So it wasn't anything that we could like say, hey, mom, what happens when this happens? Because she doesn't have a vantage point about it. And so we were just kind of at the, Crystal more so than me. She was at the mercy of the internet, trying to look it up, trying to figure it all out. And it's just like, if someone could be what Crystal was for me, if we could just do that for one other person, then we felt like we've done our job as far as educating. Because at this point, like, we're not lactation consultants. We're just moms that were able to successfully breastfeed, and being able to explain to people the things that we've learned from a been there, done that situation. Like, it felt like the right thing to do. And we'll go deeper beyond breastfeeding, of course, but that was just kind of how everything started out. Like, just learning that breast milk is like a cure for things.
Dog, like, let me tell y'all, Chris, I know that I'll let you talk after this, but dog, like, I my skin was drying out on my face. Why did this woman try to put breast milk on my face? And she was like, it's gonna help it. It's gonna help it.
It cures all.
Did it not help it though?
I don't know if it did or not.
Just say it did. Say it did, Tommy.
It did.
But it's not there anymore, right? So
I mean, I still have dry patches.
That's
from
because
time
you
to time.
are reluctant to continue using the breast milk.
This girl here, man, she was trying to put breast milk all on me, man. It's like, get off me.
It's on me, baby. I got breast milk all on me.
I sent my mom home with breast milk from when she came to initially visit us when Lily was born, because she had a spot on her foot. And like, literally, like, in 3 days, it was gone. And all she put on it was breast milk.
Okay.
And she was consistent with it, right?
Yes, she was consistent.
Like Tommy,
she put some on every day for 3 days. And by the 3rd day, it was done.
Oh, that's too funny, man.
That's so interesting. I think what y'all guys gonna be definitely amazing, because my wife, so I have a son who's 10 and I have a daughter who's 1. So with him, he didn't breastfeed. She didn't breastfeed him. She tried to, but he didn't really want to. I think it didn't last that long. And it didn't really work out or whatever. But for her, my wife was very determined to breastfeed our daughter, which she did. And it worked out for about 6 months. I think she did it. But hearing what you said and seeing what she had to go through to kind of figure out, all right, how do I get this to work this time, and having to go through all the internet stuff and talk to the doctor and figure out the proper way to hold and all that. I think it's very important to kind of, to be, I guess, that source to help these young mothers out, these up and coming mothers, whether they're young or older, because a lot of them need, that's, I don't know why that's so hard to, it's like really tough to find out how to all that information. So I think it's awesome.
There's a lot of misinformation about breastfeeding as well, because one of the big things that we realized, which I was not a pumper because I work from home, but Crystal was someone that had to pump because she worked outside of the home up until this whole, what are we calling it now? A panini. Up until that point, she was working outside of the home. And one of the big things that we learned was that what you pump is not necessarily what you're producing. And so that's a huge misconception, because people think that, okay, I'm only pumping half an ounce. My baby has to still be hungry. No, it's not that you're only pumping half an ounce. The baby is able to get more out of you because they are actually like made to do that. A pump is a man-made version of that, and it's going to always be inefficient compared to a child. So when you look at it from that point, just like that one single misconception is something that can spiral and take you down a whole rabbit hole of things that are wrong. But in your mind, you're framing it as, oh, this is why my journey isn't going the way that it's supposed to go.
Nice.
Yeah, there's just so many misconceptions out there around breastfeeding. And, as a new mom and an older new mom, I was just trying to find and navigate good information. And I hope that our podcast will be able to provide that to, moms, no matter the age or demographic. You just need to find somebody you can relate to. And even if you take all the classes and, try and prepare, until you actually get in it and you're experiencing it, it's kind of hard to connect what you may have learned in one of those breastfeeding classes prior to having the baby. So I'm hoping that this podcast will provide that kind of guidance and hopefully support to those moms who need it, even if you're not a new mother. I mean, sometimes you might be a mom who didn't have a kid for several years and you're trying to get back into it. So even second and third time moms could benefit from our podcast, because we'll cover the gamut. So I'm just so excited and really excited to work with my cousins on this. Just it's definitely a labor of love. So we are definitely looking forward to the release date.
Fun.
Nice.
Show.
Did y'all ever have some of those what are they called? Those breast milk snacks? The
lactation cookies and stuff.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah. I purchased some, but it came in like one of the little, I guess, bags that you have to actually make the batter and all that. I didn't have time for it. So I never tried it, but I did try the lactation tea. I will have to say, I think it worked, but everybody's different, but I think it did work for those times. I was like, you know what? I need a little boost. So
what's the lactation tea for?
To help you produce milk. It's supposed to, for lack of better words, revitalize your milk ducts and make production increase.
Like, what's in it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think it's herbs. It's like milk thistle is an herb that's in it, and I can't remember the others. But it's
what is it? Fenugreek.
Fenugreek. Well, the one I had didn't have fenugreek in it, but some of them do. Some formulas do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a mix of different herbs.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, we touch on this in the podcast, but the best way to get your milk to produce is to nurse or pump. So you got to move milk to make the milk. That was ingrained. Got to move the milk to make
That's something that we came up with. This is like internet.
Right.
But you do have to move milk to make milk. You have to get it out of your body for your body to signal to make more.
Yeah. Okay.
That actually makes sense. I almost ate one of those lactation cookies one time.
Did you?
I don't think it would have
I think my wife still got one in the freezer right now. And sometimes I get a sweet tooth. I was like, oh, that's a cookie. And I look at it like, oh, this is one of those cookies.
Yeah. This is one of those cookies.
Yeah. It's just there now. Now I'm like, shoot, we got to throw this stuff away. But
yeah. Oh, man. I really don't have any more questions for y'all, but I do want to say I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really happy for you guys. I pray for you guys, the success in this podcast and in this journey.
Thank you, Deacon T.
Thank you.
Like, no, it's like you have to look at it from you have to see it from my side, because I asked you guys about it, but you guys have taken this idea, and really have blossomed it into something that I never thought about it. I just thought it would be pretty cool. Like, we have Speaker Geekers, we have August Love Story. We're doing Let's Discuss. Okay, you guys work behind the scenes. How about you guys have your own little thing, and you're able to go down your own avenue? And it's like, I'm happy for you guys, and actually proud of you guys, of how you guys working and everything like that, and glad to be a part of it, you know? So kudos to you guys as well. Steve, did you have anything else?
The only thing I did have is something that we were talking about misconceptions, and this kind of brings it brought something to mind that I think we was researching when we was going through the whole breastfeeding thing. And I think I came across that cow milk, the milk that we actually get from cows, are actually bad for us. Like, it's really not. It's not good. And someone explained it to me as to, like, you know, if you ever look at, you know what I'm saying, animals and how, you know, like dogs, you know, get their nutrients from the mother, cows, other cows get their nutrients from other cows. And it was like, we're the only people that get our nutrients, you know, like our milk from another, you know what I'm saying, from an animal. And someone was saying that's why, you know, breastfeeding is so important, because really that is what we're supposed to be doing. So did y'all come across any of that when doing your research, as far as, you know what I'm saying, for mother's milk, or, you know, at the time that y'all breastfeeding?
Yeah, for me, you know, I was really looking at the nutritional side of it. You know, I saw that the benefits of breastfeeding from just, you know, health and getting, protecting my son from any type of illness was really important. So I was definitely in tune in doing the research around the health benefits of breast milk. And, you know, my son, he currently still is not drinking cow's milk. He's drinking pea protein milk and other types of milk. So when you look at the benefits, you know, there's so many issues, which I won't even get into with cow's milk. I personally, you know, still partake in milk products myself, but my son has not. But when you're looking at it holistically, and, you know, like you had mentioned, we're the only mammals that are drinking I guess you would say another mammal's milk. That's not really what we should be doing. It's the most healthy thing is, you know, for our children to drink human breast milk. So, you know, we are, I think as parents, we just got to do our research and do what is best, you know, for our children. But I think that, you know, looking at it holistically from a health perspective, you just have to start there and figure out what's best for you.
Nice.
Absolutely. When I was doing the research about everything, it just made sense to breastfeed, because like, as you said, Steve, a dog drinks milk from its mother. A cow drinks milk from its mother. I don't understand why we as human beings don't think that we should drink milk from our mother. So for that, like going in and doing the research and looking at the benefits of everything, and then also taking Tommy's approach to it, the financial side of it, breast milk is free. They give you a pump if you have insurance. And with that pump, the only thing that you have to pay for is bags, which bags are a lot less expensive than buying actual cans of formula. So when you look at it from that standpoint of it's free, the accessories that you need for it are very inexpensive. And then on top of that, it is milk that is made for your child. Like one of the things that I learned in my research was that breast milk changes when a child gets sick. So to be able to fight, like it creates antibodies to be able to fight illnesses for the child. So like if your baby comes and gets a cold and then they nurse, like your body makes the milk to change so that it can help fight that infection. So for me, it's like, oh, I also don't have to spend money on medicine. I'm not going to the doctor to check out on things because they're like fairly healthy. Like at this point, Lily has only had one cold her entire life, and she's 20 months at this point. And that cold was literally a byproduct of a whole lot of changing of weather at the time that we were traveling as well. So she got sick in the the transition of all of that. But outside of that, like, she's a very healthy child. Like, she's only been sick once. The only thing that we can think of that is actually ever like that is wrong with her currently is that she has allergies, and that's just not something that breast milk can change. So like I think that we made the right decision to breastfeed, and I know Tommy thinks we made the right decision because he didn't have to go out and buy milk.
Yeah. No argument there.
So I have a quick story time if y'all don't mind.
No, go for it, man.
Go for it.
So Artika, you may not remember this, but as kids, you know, I spent a lot of time over at grandparents' house.
Mhm.
And Artika's dad had a Doberman dog as a pet. Doberman had puppies.
I do not remember this.
You don't remember this? Okay, so the dog had puppies and she had nothing. She didn't want to have anything to do with her puppies. She refused to feed her puppies. So me and my mom had to take the puppies to the vet, and they were like, well, the only thing you can do is put them on formula. And they were like, there's a 50-50 chance that they're going to survive on formula alone. They really need their mother's milk. And we, got the formula. We fed them probably for several weeks. And this is kind of sad. They ended up passing away like after 3 or 4 weeks. Of course, this would not happen with a human, but I'm just saying, look at the health benefits, even from a dog's perspective. Mm-hmm. She refused to breastfeed her puppies, and then we had to give that formula, and the puppies just didn't thrive, unfortunately. And it could have been for other reasons as well, but that made me think about, even with a dog, they really need that mother's milk as well. But that was just a story I wanted to throw out there. We don't
That's
have
a
to
cool
keep
story.
Oh no, we keep
that's
that.
cool. I never even thought about.
I'm sad that I don't remember my dad having a dog.
You don't remember Nikki and Prince, the two Dobermans?
I remember their names, but I do not remember these dogs.
Oh gosh. Well, Nikki had puppies, and they were, I think it was 3 puppies. Yeah. And me and my mom tried to nurse them back to life with the formula milk.
I'm going to have to call him and say, why didn't you take care of your dogs?
You need to let them know. They were cute dogs too. They were so cute.
Hey, that should be the official story. Be like, how y'all come up with mother's milk? Well, there was 2 dogs. They needed their mother's milk.
My puppy siblings, apparently.
Right. You know what? You might not have been born then. Now I think about it, because we're 5 years apart. I think I was probably like 4 when that happened. I don't know why I remember all of this so vividly.
Like, I remember him having dogs, but I don't remember the dogs.
Yeah.
I remember him having cats, which is weird that my dad has a cat.
So. Yeah, he loves cats too.
Yeah. Not I, sir. Not I, sir.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's wild. That's a wild story. Yeah, like I never knew like the importance of breast milk and a mother's milk until we had a baby, and well, actually, I found out before that, but until a baby was actually in my life and somebody was actually breastfeeding, I didn't know, the importance of it. But yeah, man, mother's milk. Where can we find all the information we need to listen to mother's milk? Do you guys have a website, email, and all that good jazz?
Absolutely. So our website is mothersmilktheshow.com. We're on Instagram at mothersmilktheshow, and you can email us at support@mothersmilktheshow if there's anything that you want us to talk about, or any sponsorship questions, concerns, things of that nature. Everything kind of feeds into that inbox, and then we will respond accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to remind everybody too, we also have a listener letters portion of the podcast called Milkshake, and we'll be taking listener letters as well.
Oh yeah, Milkshake gets wild.
A lot of interesting topics.
Today.
You should. It's Sunday.
Oh man. Okay,
so
well, cool,
right
man.
now.
Is there anything else you guys want to say about the episode before we get on out of here?
No, just please listen, share it with friends. It comes out next week, and we're celebrating Mother's Day with the release. So come listen, share with friends, go on the website, tell us what you think. Rate it on all of the podcast. What is it? Services.
Yeah.
Wherever you listen to podcasts.
I change that every time I say it. So.
I never remember because you're always the one that says
Yeah.
that. So I never think about that part of it. But definitely Apple Podcasts, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Google Podcasts, Spotify, all those things. We are on all of those. So definitely look around, like rate it, share it with friends, tell us what you thought. Like we're always open to feedback, and like this has been a fun journey of recording these first few episodes.
Yeah.
It has.
Thanks, production.
Yeah, thanks, production.
No problem. That's dope, man. Well, there you have it, guys. I want to again thank you for joining us at Speaker Geekers Mother's Milk. Also, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Speaker Geekers Podcast. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as subscribe to the podcast audio as well, wherever you listen to podcasts, be it Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, wherever you listen to it, look up Speaker Geekers Podcast and subscribe there. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Speaker Geekers Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Tommy T the Third. You got Steve at the Great Steve O Steve, and you got G at instantly_G. As well as Mother's Milk, you can follow them. Just say it one more time for me.
mothersmilktheshow.com.
All right. And what's the Instagram? What's you guys' Instagrams? And
Mother's Milk Instagram is Mother's Milk the Show, or at Mother's Milk the Show. My Instagram is at Artika.
And you can just follow me through Mother's Milk the Show on Instagram as well.
There it is. Steve, you got anything? Did I miss anything?
Hey, at what age can you not drink, mother's milk? Does anybody know that?
You can drink it indefinitely. So, weird story, once again. There are bodybuilders who actually pay like good money for women who are lactating to provide them with milk because it helps strengthen their muscles better than like cow's milk would. So you can drink it indefinitely. I have a personal cutoff, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. I mean, like what they do has nothing to do with me. But like you can drink breast milk as long as you want. Like I believe the CDC says like 6 months to a year is their preferred time frame when you have a new baby. But I've seen people who are like nursing 3 and 4 year olds. I didn't want that for my life. No. Thank God my child also did not want it for her life. Like she quit just before she hit 1.5 years. So, and she just like decided she was done with me. So I was cool with that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, Tommy, let's go get some breast milk.
I don't
put them in our milkshakes,
bruh. I've tasted it by mistake, and yeah,
it's not bad.
It's not for me.
Well, to all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes,
man, keep mothering. Keep mothering.
Yeah.
So, the best.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys again for joining us on this podcast. Much great success to you guys with your new podcast and everything. And look forward to hearing all this good news about mothers and motherhood and breast milk and breastfeeding and all that good stuff. But anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.